Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It is a beautiful day today, and it is beautiful to have so many of you out there with us. And who is this us? Well, I'm talking about myself and Jonas J. Campbell of That Park Place. Jonas, how are you today?
I'm doing magnificent, and I hope that everyone who is watching this is doing magnificent as well.
Excellent. And ladies and gentlemen, every day we are trying to magnificently explain entertainment for you and keep you ahead of the culture curve. Very important to do so. Once you can do that, you can kind of predict where things are going to go. Unfortunately for Disney, they may struggle with that, and they may struggle with it profoundly. I say this because we've been predicting for quite a while now what was to happen to Disney should they continue down the road they had determined to be in their best interest, but clearly is not the interest of customers. We're talking about Disney making themselves divisive and political. When they did that, they divided their fans, they divided their consumers. And although it did take a while, Jonas, it looks like we're getting to the point now where that's having a significantly detrimental impact onto Disney and to their business. Specifically, the conversation today is going to be about Disney Plus and the ramifications of what Disney has done, how far they have fallen. So Jonas, tell us a little bit. You've been doing this woke series, and the link to your channel is down below in the description. Everybody should go check that out. But tell us a little bit about some of the things that you've been seeing coming out of the Walt Disney Company as of late in terms of pushing the company into political and ideological realms.
Well, it seems like the shows that don't push an ideology are the exception rather than the rule, especially in kids' content and things that I would say parents wouldn't be inclined to watch. There seems to be some bold-faced let's say pushes towards non-traditional values, and also
strongly
yes, and towards some political ideologies in the background, not just a diversity push, which we are actually for diversity.
Well, we want content to look like the real world, right? I mean, yes. We want let me give you an example, Jonas. So I was reading an article on That Park Place earlier today, and it was all about how they were putting a doll from It's a Small World into a wheelchair. And they were then claiming that was, a win for diversity. And I kind of concurred with the author of that article when she said that she wasn't sure if that really should count as diversity because people with mobility issues, that's just normal, and I kind of feel that same way. I kind of feel like in our media, in our attractions and all the things that we do, these companies should be aiming to reflect the world and I hope in the best ways possible. But I don't think that when they use the word diversity or when they use the word inclusivity, all these other terms they use, I don't think that's what they mean exactly.
Well, there's a certain aspect to it, and maybe this is a diversion from the main conversation here, that they see people's diversity as the only thing they are, and therefore view them as different, and therefore not accepted.
Sure. And so where I would say, let me see if I'm on the right track with what you're saying. Whereas I would say that if you tell me the color of one's skin, that tells me almost nothing about the person because it doesn't tell me what clothes they like to wear. It doesn't tell me what food they like to eat. It doesn't tell me what their religious beliefs are. It doesn't tell me what their humor is. Like, none of that is told by telling me the color of one's skin. It feels like to Disney and to some of these other companies who have fully bought in, that when they say that they believe that that is a huge descriptor for the person.
Yes, and I would say that this is especially a struggle in certain skin tones that are not white. They look at them and say, this culture should be a monolith.
White people aren't white either,
That's right.
That's another tangent for me, but I hate that we have terms that are so far opposite from one another. The idea that some people are white and some people are black. I just despise the terminology because we're still using terminology that's centuries old, that from a psychological level, whether we think about it or not, it portends that we are as far away from one another as possible. In the color spectrum, white is as far from black as possible. And I just think it's divisive. I wish we could get away from that, but I don't know how.
And to go back to the idea of it's a small world after all, there was an Imagineer who reached out to me to talk about that doll in a wheelchair. It's a Small World, in its original intention, was to show a unified image of an ideal world. And I think that a person in a wheelchair might disagree with the idea that them being in a wheelchair is ideal for them. Now, that being separate here from the concept of diversity, the people who are putting this forward are saying that a person in a wheelchair is defined by the idea that they are in a wheelchair.
Well, that's an excellent point as well. And they're defining lots of people, putting them into categories where they're not allowed to escape from those categories because those are hard lines. So let's take a look now, Jonas, at how this is impacting the Walt Disney Company in terms of Disney Plus. We're looking at the Nielsen ratings, and we're going to start off with the original programming. If we go to the original programming, you're going to notice something very peculiar. And again, this comes from the week of January 23rd through the 29th. That is because Nielsen runs a few weeks behind as they aggregate all the data. But if we look at this, what do you notice, Jonas? What's the big standout here?
That Disney is not on the list at all.
That's exactly right. It's amazing. I mean, it really is amazing. And there's no original Disney programming. None of it. This is not the way that Disney Plus functioned months ago. And supposedly the subscribers are increasing, although we know that North American subscribers are basically stagnant, not growing. But if you look, Prime Video's there, Peacock is there, Netflix is dominating, Disney's gone. So there's no way this is healthy. There's no way that Disney Plus is in a healthy spot if not a single original piece of content could even make the top 10.
Now, let me point out here that I do believe that Willow had its series finale in the month of January, as well as Bad Batch has been going this entire time. Also, National Treasure, apparently nowhere on this list. There are some big dollar productions here that are not represented on this list at all.
So I saw National Treasure pop up 1 week on one chart. That's not to say it was in the top 10 overall. It's just to say on one subcategory, I saw it pop in one time. I have never seen Willow pop in. I don't think Willow ever will pop in. I think it is an expensive, absolute failure yet again out of Lucasfilm. Another indication that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And outside of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they are just an abjectly failed studio. All right, so let's take a look now at acquired. If we go to acquired, we're going to see something very similar. The only thing in acquired that Disney has is Bluey. That's it. And if you look at how well Bluey is doing, 628 million minutes watched. Go back to the original for a minute. We look at here, the number 10 spot is 269 million. Okay, about 1/3 of Bluey. That means that Disney's original content doesn't even come in within 33% of Bluey's numbers. That is it's just unbelievable.
I cannot not even a single Disney property is on the originals list. Disenchanted, which was supposedly a hit.
That has got to be majorly disappointing at this point. But yes, I was expecting more. The soundtrack just didn't pull it across the line. All right, now Jonas, just looking at these all these properties that came out, what did Disney have? Like, what did they try to get at least somewhere on in these charts?
Well, first of all, the Bad Batch, which is the continuation of the Clone Wars series.
You're telling me a Star Wars property, the Bad Batch, couldn't even make it.
Apparently not. And this is yet another clone saga. Or clone series. They are apparently another babysitting mission as well, where they have a young, somewhat sassy, at least as far as the soldiers are concerned.
Look, down here at the bottom, Physical 100. Who even has heard of that? And you're telling me Star Wars The Bad Batch can't beat Physical 100 at 269 million. I have seen shows that you have never heard of in your life that have had more than 269 million, and the Bad Batch is not on here. This is awful for Disney. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to exaggerate, but this is unsustainable for them.
Absolutely. They have a series starring Zendaya, who is very hot in the market right now, and is right in the correct age demographic to sell something on Disney Plus, and nobody's watching. New Disney Junior series that should be a shoo-in for them because their primary audience, as you can see from Bluey, would be children. A show called Bride and Prejudice, which I believe is acquired content, but that shows I'll just read the description. Meet three couples as they decide to make a lifelong commitment and get married in the face of staunch opposition from their family and friends. From an interfaith couple in Baltimore to a gay couple in Boston and an interracial couple from Houston.
Well, I'm sure they love that in San Fran. I'm just sure they do. All right, let's take a look at movies real quick because it doesn't get better. It gets worse. So Disney, we've talked about this before in these videos. Disney has a built-in advantage. Disney has content that is aimed directly at children when we talk about movies. Children watch movies in a different pattern than adults watch movies. Whereas an adult may watch their favorite movie 2-3 times and they're done, right? Children watch their favorite movies over and over and over and over. And that's for a simple psychological reason, right? If you go back and look at, if you go back to college, if you ever took an educational psych course, the deal here is that a small child, the world is brand new, and the movie contains all kinds of information that as the child is learning about the world, that movie is relaying information to them each time they watch it. And as adults, we have seen movies over and over. We've seen the world over and over. We're not learning a lot when we watch a movie. We're enjoying the narrative. We're enjoying the special effects. But for children, they can watch over and over and continue to learn new things. And then there's also sort of this opposite and yet parallel function where a child is exposed every single day to vast amounts of new content that they're learning. So then when they go back to this movie that they love, it provides a safe place, it provides normalcy, it provides a pattern that they're used to. It's something comfortable that they know how it begins and ends. And so it provides them with that feeling of reliability. So children watch movies at a vastly higher degree than adults. This should be filled with Disney movies, with children's movies. Look, all they have is Encanto. Okay, Strange World is gone. Lightyear is gone. Luca's not there. Soul never happened. They have Encanto, and the movie that I've been saying for a long time, they're going to make a sequel, but they're probably holding until D23 to announce. They've got Moana. There's no Zootopia. There's no Frozen. They've got 2 movies in the top 10 when they should dominate. And by the way, 6 months ago, and then back to when the subscription service started, they did dominate. And all of a sudden, they have 2 movies on here.
And all of these movies, including Trolls and Sing 2, are heavy musical-based movies, which Disney is not as crazy about doing these days.
Trolls is dominating Disney content.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just, it's something, So if you're Disney, I don't care what they say, what they project. And Jonas, I don't know, did you catch the video yesterday where we talked about the Peter Pan and Wendy stuff coming out? Have you seen that trailer?
Oh my, yes.
It's not going to get better until they flush this out. And I don't think that they've learned their lesson yet. Have you?
No, not at all. When they take a lost boy who is supposed to be in the Peter Pan story, the lost boys are supposed to be the dumb ones, and Wendy is there to provide some good feminine perspective, and they take the lost boys and make some of them girls and say, what's the problem with that? They literally say in the trailer, what's the problem with that?
Yeah. I mean,
they're not learning.
Jonas, look at this. Jurassic World Dominion is in the top 10. And again, 166 million, not impressive at all. I mean, there have been many, many reports out of Nielsen where 166 would not even come close to getting on the top 10. So this is a bad week. But Jurassic World Dominion on there, guess what? There is not a single Marvel film on this. Not a single Marvel. And of course, there's no Star Wars. But there's no live action Disney stuff either. And then if we go to the overall top 10, again, completely devoid of Disney. HBO Max is on there. And The Last of Us is a divisive show, yet it's still able to get on there. Prime Video has something on there. Netflix again dominating. No Disney to be found. This is not healthy. This is not what you would expect to see out of a company that is actually going to compete with Netflix. And in my opinion, Disney Plus at this point has taken such a hit that I think they're desperate. And I mean this, desperate for The Mandalorian to succeed. But based on that first episode I watched from season 3, it's fine, but it's not excellent. It's not something that I think is going to drive Star Wars fans back. And if The Mandalorian season 3 comes in low, if it doesn't drive people to Disney Plus, oh, they're in real trouble at this point. Jonas, any thoughts on that?
No, yeah. And you look at a lot of the stuff on this list. The Walking Dead has been in the can for months now. That show has been done for a while and people are watching it. That 90s show is a retread of something that people were watching elsewhere. NCIS hasn't broken new ground in years, and The Big Bang Theory has been off the air for, if I'm not mistaken, years now. And they weren't really pushing they weren't really pushing the envelope as far as edgy entertainment either.
So I think at this point, we don't really have to talk about a future where Disney will suffer the consequences of their actions, or that one day Disney they'll wish they hadn't done this. We're there, and this is bad. Disney has had multiple animated feature film flops in a row. Disney, their streaming service is dying now, and it's clear for everyone to see. I think that this next year, this 2023 year, is going to be a time when these other companies really take advantage. You're going to see the Mario Brothers movie come out and trounce Disney. You're going to see DC make its attempts to topple Disney and start eating into the superhero genre. But I think all these companies, they know that there is blood in the water and it's time to go after Disney. Disney is in a position that I haven't seen them be in decades.
I think that they've been a ideologically driven company for so long. When you look at here, not even Hulu has made the list here. They can't even rely on
Great point, Jonas. I had not noticed that.
Yeah, they can't rely on the ABC or the Fox back catalog, apparently, to boost them here. I don't think this includes any ESPN figures because live sports and things like that
doesn't register in these, yeah.
Right. But to not have a single piece of content across 2 major streaming platforms to hit, they have to be counting on customer apathy to keep subscriptions in line now. And that will not last forever, as customers and shareholders are more focused on content and average revenue per user. The days of just going by strict numbers of subscribers are gone, and they have to do something right now to fix this.
Well, there you go. It would have helped them if they had been doing this yesterday. Iger says they're going to start cutting content, slowing down the cadence. In my opinion, it's all coming at a horrible time for Disney, when they need to increase, not decrease, and they need to pivot away from their positions. Folks, if you like content like this, make sure to click the like button, share, subscribe. You can stick it to the algorithms when you click it. We're talking about that notification bell. And we truly do covet your comments. We care about what you think, so drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts. Make sure to check out the description. Find Jonas out there on this great, big, beautiful web. And ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.